Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to College Call of Duty here on the Bravo stream. It's myself, Visions, joined with Seymour. We haven't done this in a while, Seymour. It's nice to
No,
get back in the virtual booth here with you. How you doing?
no, it's actually been quite a while since we've been here. I'm doing good. How you doing? You stepping up in the world, but back at the roots. College God Bravo stream, and we got a hefty match ahead of us too. A banger on the script from what I'm seeing. Barton College versus Johnson C. Smith University. And these two teams, looking to go head to head. We might see some upset potential, but it really comes down to the maps that are played here and who takes what.
Yeah, that's going to be the question. Who's going to take what? Who's going to step up and who's going to go big here for us? And I think that looking at this on paper, a lot of people probably give a slight favorite over towards Barton. They do have a better record here currently in this division here for themselves, Atlantic B. And they have, I believe it's 6-3 at the moment, going up against 4-4 is where we have this JCSU Esports squad. So two very strong teams coming in towards the mix here for us. And I think this one's interesting because we're getting deeper and deeper in towards the season. And we talk about how much more important these wins mean towards these squads when we're talking about the brackets and who's going to be able to make it towards playoffs, which is going to sneak up on us here very, very quickly. So keep that in mind as we get ourselves in towards the talking points of this matchup. And Seymour, this one's interesting because both squads kind of have strengths and weaknesses opposite towards the other, except for control for the most part, right? We look at the hard points for as far as what we have going in towards this matchup right now. You have 6-8 for Barton College. They've been struggling a bit, but on the other hand, you have 8-5 right now for the side of Johnson C. Smith. That's been one of their go-tos. They're a strong respawn squad. S&D, it's the mismatch. It's the exact opposite compared towards the hard points for us here, right? You have 4-7 for S&D, 8-2 for S&D here for Barton College. So there is a lot of different outcomes that I think could take place here for us going in towards this matchup here. And I think that's what makes it very intense, especially as we get later in towards the season.
And we have to really highlight this Moscow hardpoint for Johnson C. Smith because them being better on respawns in general, you have to come out swinging. You have to come out with the heat, and you have to make sure you don't drop this respawn because you're going to be lacking in that search and destroy, especially moving into Moscow search and destroy, which Barton College has shown their strong foot so many times in the season already. Now, Moscow hardpoint being that mode that Johnson C. Smith are looking at, they're sitting 2-0 right now on the map, and I really have to highlight for Johnson C. Smith, Rambo. He is going to be a
Mm-hmm.
player I'm going to put my eyes on. He has to slay the lanes and make sure that Barton College has to put a lot of resources into just touching down and kind of contesting on the points that are going to be on Moscow. Because you look across the board, Moscow from point one all the way to point four, there is a lot of time to be had on those. I think
Mm-hmm.
aside from hill number one, which is a lot more scrappy, you look at P2, you look at Fountain, the separation between both of those, you get a good rotation. You can connect a strong 60 on either one of those.
You definitely could. And I mean, as we take a look at all the maps we have there at the top of your screen, as we just had Seymour frame up, Moscow Hardpoint first, Moscow Search and Destroy second, Raid Control for the third, which I think is going to be an absolute battle with both of these
Oh,
squads and
yeah.
how good they are in control. And then, if need be, we'll go towards a second Hardpoint on Raid, and then we'll finish things off on Miami Search and Destroy. So, a nice little mix of the maps that we do have currently lined up for this specific rotation. But I want to get towards the control, maybe skip a little bit
I
ahead. We
do.
talked about, what it's going to mean for as far as this first map. I think we both agree that this is a very important one for JCSU Esports to take based off of their history in the respawns and really where they've kind of faulted themselves, I think, for the overall search and destroy. Certainly one of their weak points, but the controls, both of these squads, they're very strong at control here for ourselves. You have a 7-2 record right now for Barton College. You have a 7-1 record here in control for Johnson C. Smith. So this is going to make for an absolute banger game number 3, which of course we will get to here in this series. It is guaranteed for us, but I mean, this is just going to be, I think, one that we're both looking forward to seeing who's going to come out on top in.
And honestly, between the two of them, you're looking at raid control where Johnson C. Smith University is 4-0. Barton
Mm-hmm.
College is actually 6-1 on raid. So a lot of experience for them on this map as well. You look at raid being that toss up, a good swing map for the chance to Barton to even kind of take a respawn, a chance for them to make sure that JCS is going to look to force that map 5 on raid hardpoint and look to take both of those. So I'm really looking at Barton, to kind of lock in for Gars, play around their main Slayer in that. I mean, he's rocking a 2 KD across the board for every single game mode. So raid
Yeah.
control being that one toss up that we see, that good swing map. If they're playing around Gars, they allow him to slay out and play the lives game against JCS. We might see an upset for respawn against Johnson C. Smith University, and Barton College might have a chance to even get the favor, going into raid hardpoint and maybe have a leg up. That is going to come down to how we see Barton College in these hardpoints to start off. So we are going to be locking into this Moscow hardpoint for map number 1, Barton College versus Johnson C. Smith Visions.
5th versus 7th for the Atlantic B division. Lot on the line for both of these squads nearing the end of the season, and we're going to have the favorite sponsor of these off the bat here for BC Esports. Now it's the battle for the first little initial engagements for P1. Casey comes out with that first one. Little MP5 action coming through there for Shadow as he does get the trade. Still contested. One last battle should come through. Rambo doesn't want to fully take it. We'll just back up, and they'll look to try and hold on towards the sponsor.
You actually do see Blexy on the rotation looking for the TP2 spawns. He gets a big kill onto Kays, and then he's actually going to look to find the second one as well. So off screen, a big battle here as we do see the contention on point being soaked up from BC Esports at the moment for P1, but already holding on to this JCS, locking down spawns for P2, and Rambo's going to be the one to hold it down.
Rambo in towards the back right now. You can see him. He's trying to get himself inside a police station. Wants to get that power position. Has a bit of help from his second ARKs right behind him. And Rambo actually wins that first battle. So it looks like spawns will remain inside of BC Esports' favor. Scrap time goes over, but that's fine because they might be able to find the angle to start clearing out a couple of these players, making the way towards the new point. Second one's going to challenge out here for him. He's got a big gunfight ahead of him. They will clean him up. Samurai, the guy to bring it home. So now a chance to surge on forward, see if they can break themselves in towards the back, but they got to get through Case first. He's up top. He's looking to lock things down. He won't be able to find himself one. We'll see the trade come through. The battle right after coming in towards the point. Zay does force himself in, and they are still playing great defense.
And even Johnson C. Smith rotating the spawns in the back of the map for P2. If BC Esports are forced to fight from screen, so they finally break on through. There's the last 20 seconds left on here. Nobody gaining time to toss up, and honestly, with the slaying that is coming out, it does look like Johnson C. Smith are looking to pick up this scrap time, and Barton College already looking for Fountainside on this. They failed at taking P2, so they have to look to lock down the full 60. And if you're looking on the side of JC Smith, they are going to be swinging all the way from streets and bank to try to uproot Gars in this back spawn.
Gars does find himself one. Takes some shots, but he will be pressured from the seconds. They doesn't even go for the challenge despite being weak, and Rambo now forced to go big. He can't. Big gunfights in the back. It's all to one in Shadow. He's got that up close to the MP5. No problemo. So first 20 seconds going to be good here for the side of JCSU Esports. They needed to convert, and so far it's good.
And I mean, JCS, they keep fighting from the front. They stall it out a little bit and contest. They can get a good rotation and block off these spawns in the back of the map for point number 4. You already see Tempest looking to do that, just that, and contest it a little bit. Samurai standing on his own, and this is really going to be interesting as the last 20 seconds going to JCS at the moment. Tempest finally getting cleaned up, and the rotations are going to be go time for both of these squads in a very big tussle all the way in offices. You do see the initial time looking to be locked down from Kays here if he can pick up Blexy, so he does.
Great rotational kills. Kays really starting to put himself in an excellent position here to cut down a lot of these players. 8-5 for himself. The game just about dead even. As you might see things flip-flop right back over for JCSU, but it's Shadow from the side. He finds himself a big gunfight win. Tries to go to Tempest. Won't be able to find the two-piece. Rambo in the back, also reading the push in from behind Statue. Big pickup for Rambo, but he's got 2 in front of him. He goes for the overchow, and we will see the break come through right after. BC Esports, they've been great at getting themselves back inside of the point, but for how long is going to be the question, as they're going to have to see Tempest now make this move from the side. He will have the contest. He wins the battle. It's very scrappy, very back and forth. Kays tries to get the job done. It just trades back and forth as we'll see both teams fight for the last 20 seconds or so.
And it's almost even after the first rotation of Hardpoint's Visions. You're looking at BC Esports in the midst of that actually got blessed with P2 favored spawns. So this rotation back on the initial first Hardpoint. You're going to see number 7 there, Shadow, set up for the time and slaying around it. Gars, number 8 on Statue. If you're BC Esports, you want to lock down and hold on to these point 2 spawns. A big pick from K, so that might be a good opportunity for JCS to try to take away these spawns for P2 and honestly fight from the back of the map and kind of retake this P1.
Tempest, he's looking to try and fight for P1 right now. Samurai wins that battle, but we do get a trade from Zay. Back and forth we go. Very scrappy inside of this point. It's Zay with 2. He finds the opening. He clears some space. But you can see all the players right now in blue, they're trying to just make sure they hard anchor the back because the split spawns do come through for player 6 and player 7 on that mini map. And Gars, now the one that has to go big. He cuts down 1. He cuts down 2. Big plays from Gars to be able to get the kills. But in the end, it's Tempest who manages to get in from behind. So the spawns will flip. And P1 Control still looking to be good right now for the side of JCSU.
And honestly, both of these players that I highlighted right now, Visions, Rambo and Gars, you see Rambo 11 and 10, Gars 12 and 8, not really differentiating in each other. And that's really kind of mirroring the scoreline right now, 110 to basically 110, dead even between both of these squads. But you're looking at JCS early with this time on P2, locking down in a full 4 flood all the way from streets for BC Esports. Let's see if they can break it.
Blexy trying to work through the back here for himself. He does manage to find that kill, but the team kill from Gars, not ideal, and Gars ends up falling. Good read here from Zay, trying to drop down like Batman on him, and will be able to bring home the kill. Find Samurai, 30 seconds left. Do you hit this one more time, or do you make the rotation? Player 7 wants to give this one last go, and Blexy finds some space as he opens up 2 in the middle of the map here. Big battle for Tempest. He gets hit from the side. The break comes in, 20 seconds being fought for. And, well, they have the spawns in the back here, Seymour. I don't know if it's the best move, because sure, they get the scrap time. But look at all these white members across the map set up here for new.
This is best case scenario for JCS as they get the majority of the time. And honestly, one of the biggest leads we've seen since the start of this game, about 20 favoring JCS right now. And the initial time, it looks like 4.3 Fountain. And Blexy gets picked up here, so he does. That's going to be at least 5 before the contention is going to come out. And honestly, the front line being held here, looks like Eskies is where BC Esports is occupied. They're going to have to fight and find some important kills, and so Guard does.
Tempest up front, he finds a kill. He's trying to finesse for 2. He does. He brings home 2, and Kays finds the 3rd. An excellent hold, and Zay's nade ends up finding the 4th. A solid hold here to make sure that this lead finally starts to swing the way of JCSU Esports. Tempest already thinking about cutting off maybe some of these rotators in case he's actually a step ahead. He might be able to find himself maybe 2. He grabs the first one. Shadow needs to get this trade, and he luckily does, as well as finding 2. So that's best case scenario overall. BC Esports, they need to get themselves some crucial time here on P4 as they are down just about a full hill.
And honestly, fighting from the front, this is going to be tough. Through bank number 2. I'm looking at Zay here to break from buses. He's going to be the first to contest here. And if he can get some important shots with this AR, he finds a nice 2-piece. That is going to be huge now for JCS2. Got to take BC Esports off of this and force these long gunfights for the ARs to dominate outside of bus, which has been happening all game long for JCS. If you have to take it, I mean, they're good to play these long angles, and they're hoping to fight BC Esports at range because Zay has been killing it so far.
Tempest here on this bench. This could make the difference. He's starting to push up. Might be able to play for some statue control. Nice little jump shot. Tempest, can you go for 3? Goes to the Diamati, but will be shut down from Blexy. Still, however, creating a numbers advantage right now. Big time coming through here. JCSU Esports now just a hard one away from closing this one out. Look to maybe grab the last 15 seconds, but with the overshout coming through, this might just be good for BC Esports. You touched on it here, Seymour, already playing for the spawns, and he will try to cut the middle of the map. Tempest does grab 2, but all those blue members of the mini map, they make their way over towards P2 here before.
It's a big heads up play from Tempest too, not to really play for the spawns on P2, to play for the 0.1 initial time here, because they are going to be able to lock down and force gunfights from BC on this first hard point. As JCS, they can win off of P1 here, and those forced gunfights are going to allow players of JCS to swoop in the backline, hold on to the P2 spawns, because you're hoping that contention is going to come along, and JCS are just going to be favored for the flip back to P2, and it's exactly how they're playing this. The break comes through, but JCS getting those P2 spawns, they're going to be huge.
Zay just trying to play his life. As many kills as he gets here, he's spawning those players farther and farther out. So this could be a great scenario here if you're able to find any. But Case and Zay finding 3 out of 4. One last player on the hill. Blexy forced to go big, and he does go big for the scrap time. So this is a big 10 to get. But you have to think about this rotation here some more. Somehow, some way, you got to somehow get in towards the point and flip the spawns out.
Look at those picks from Zay all the way at statue, forcing number 8 to spawn out all the way onto Fountain. It's going to be a trek to gate here. Tempest, the first line of defense, the full swipe of 3. 30 seconds needed to win this one out, Visions. And if you're BC Esports, you have to go. You have to touch down.
Yeah. You got to go big here. Garce Goes big on the first kill. Has his teammates trying to push through lobby, but they got it cut through the ARs in the back. Gar still trying to play his life. He finds himself the second. He tries to turn for 3. Rambo has none of it. Does bring home that 5 spree here. Maybe they close this one out. Last push coming through. Can they even get towards the point? The slide comes in, but the kills are too good. And Johnson C. Smith University, they strike first here in this series as they take this hard point away.
You know, that's exactly what we were talking about, though. BC Esports not too far behind with that 171 marker, and I was hoping that Barton College would keep that eve as close as they can, because that's showing me that they have the potential. You know, they just need a player like Samurai to kind of show up in that later rounds if it goes the distance, if it goes to that map number 4, as he was 9-22 at the end of that hardpoint visions. If they go back to raid hardpoint later on, I'm looking at Samurai to pick it up, but the fact that it was close, I mean, you win that raid control, you get that swing map, and you have the favor going into it. You can repeat that and maybe flip the spawns here, but that's for the distance. That's for later on in this series. That's if we even make it to map number 4 after that control. We got to look at Moscow Search and Destroy here coming up next. And that honestly might be the tale that we've been playing out here, as BC Esports, they're going to be favored on the second map, luckily.
Likely favored. And this is exactly what we talked about going in, saying, hey, listen, if we're going to see Johnson C. Smith pull an upset here, they got to start off hot and they have to take the very first map away. And we see how good they're doing it at hardpoint. I think that's the biggest factor for themselves, is they're knowing when to actually chalk that hill and make the rotation towards new, which is something I think that was not happening here for Barton College. They were making a lot of mistakes, not exactly putting themselves in the best possible situations to try and collect some real time on these money hills that we talk about on Moscow, when you're trying to force in those 25-second scrap times, and then you're actually getting the spawns, putting yourself in then the awkward situation where you have to rotate across the map. So definitely some macro misplays, I think, overall, but striking first in a game mode that they've been very strong at is the best case scenario. So Johnson C. Smith looking good, but we go towards S&D, and this is where this BC Esports squad, Seymour, really shines through, right? They look to be dominant in search and destroy. I hit on it at the top of the broadcast. I mean, they're 8-2 overall.
Oh, yeah.
So they've only dropped 2 so far, playing all of their matches that they have thus far. And I mean, that is a great record to have in this game mode here for themselves. So I mean, it's got to be pretty difficult for Johnson C. Smith to come into this knowing that, but the way that you just won that first map, that might be enough maybe to try and push and swing things in towards your favor going in towards our second map here on Moscow.
And luckily for that Moscow hardpoint, you look at Blexy and Gars, the 2 slayers of BC Esports. They were on fire, both breaking the 20 kill marker. So going into Moscow S&D, having your slayers hot is going to be favoring you. I mean, you talk about how they're 8-2. Well, 5 of their wins were on Moscow S&D out of those 8. So you're definitely favoring them. But I mean, the storyline here that we're playing out is JCS. Are they going to be able to pull that upset? And you look at the way Rambo played that. I mean, he's the only player on the side of JCS to have a positive search and destroy. KD sitting 1.65 in that game mode. He was showing up. He was going toe-to-toe with Garza in that Moscow hardpoint. He has to show up and do the exact same thing on Moscow. You see a lot of heavy gunfights over to the escalator side of the map. And if you are kind of counting on a player like Rambo to kind of pull out with those kills, he might be able to kind of take some aggressive four-man hits and lead the way to some breaks on that site as well. And even at the same point, if we're talking about JCS, I mean, their ARs weren't too far behind either from Rambo. So everybody's showing up here. I mean, JCS has the potential for an upset. It really just comes down to if you can break these setups that BC Esports are so used to with their 5-1 record.
Yeah, and I'm a really big fan of Search and Destroy squad that's going up against, a really strong Search and Destroy team to try and do something a little bit new. Throwing these guys off and being able to maybe get away with a couple things you shouldn't could actually end up swinging things in towards your favor. Playing out that tilt, of course, not closing up that first map against a team that you're above in the standings here. Again, 5 versus 7 for as far as what we have within the standings here for Barton as well as JCSU. So you have a chance to be able to maybe come away with the 2-0 lead, upset these guys in their best possible map by doing something a little bit different. I'd hope that there is something prepped here for the guys, because the way that they're playing, I mean, their hard points, you can clearly see that they know what to do. They're on the ball for a lot of these rotations. Now it's just about seeing seeing exactly how you're going to coordinate a lot of these pushes and defensive holds on a map like Moscow, where they are 5-0. So I'm sure maybe even our squad here that is great at search and destroy for Barton College might even have a little bit to offer us for something that we maybe haven't seen thus far in towards the College COD season. But guys, it's time for game number 2, Moscow Search and Destroy. We're coming into it 1-0 up right now. It's Johnson C. Smith University, seeing if they can maybe go for 2 or if BC Esports are going to bounce back.
I'm already going for a full hit on this A site. 2 players to defend it out, leading the way. Rambo, exactly who I wanted to, going to come out with the first blood. And honestly, Trade's favorite JCS is going to be huge, allowing that bomb to go down and having that player advantage. This retake is going to have to be methodical. And you're hoping that BC Esports can maybe play shoulder to shoulder. In fact, that is not going to happen. It's evened up with 2 apiece.
They try to go for the push through. They're denied. And Blexy also gets spotted out. Tagged up just a bit here. Won't look to try and press forward just yet, as things come to a halt with about 45 seconds left on this clock in the 2v2. But bomb now looks to be planted from K's. Blexy might try to make another attempt to go up Eskies here. We'll try to search for the player that just did drop the bomb. Won't find any information. Shadow just waiting patiently for a challenge. Blexy's one needs to make a play, but it's Kays who finds him, finds that first kill. Shadow now left alone in the 1v2. Doesn't have too many options. Might be able to find this first kill. Shots are shaky.
Ooh.
Does find it in the end there, Seymour, but lucky enough, the trade right there in from behind.
Well, Shadow, a player that you don't expect to kind of pull out in those 1v2 situations. A little bit shaky, like you said, but you got to give some props here out the gates for JCS. I mean, a team that we are kind of counting out for this destroy. Talking about they're fighting from the back foot for this game mode. They go for that full 4 hit on the A side, trade out 1, and honestly, they're opting for the full push through into the P2 hardpoint side of the map, and stopping at that, making a 2v2, they kind of double back, put that bomb down, and play for a trade or trades after Kays finds that big kill on the Blexy. And this full hit is only kind of going to be lackluster for BC Esports. So they only have 3 going towards that A site, and even still, Gaze doesn't want to take the bomb just there.
And they're trying to push right through mid, right over towards B. I mean, you have a massive stack right here, and this might just be Shadow going down, and he does. So Zay finds the kill. Samurai is ready and waiting for this rotation down Eskies, but the timing is just against him. Breaks the glass. Blexy's forced to go big. Zay finds a second in the round, and now you got a 2v4 situation. Samurai does find one to at least try and even things up a bit. Gars finds the second, and 2v2 we go.
Gars playing offsite. Tempest around the corner, swings wide to take the advantage back to BC Esports. Last player left for JC to hit this retake. Kays has 28 seconds to work with, but Cars quick on his toes, is going to get all the way in the back. The shot punch puts it down, and you got to get some creativity here to BC Esports going for that mid-hit visions. I mean, they had such a wide spread for an attack. And after that bomb went down, I was a little bit curious because there were no trades coming out. But this kill right here from Gars on to Zay, really giving it all to the side of BC Esports, giving them opportunity to take the win.
That's a 2v4, right? Like, those are the rounds when you're a weak search and destroy squad that you need to come out on top in, or you're just simply not going to be improving in this game mode. And good heads up plays. I mean, coming through here for the side of Samurai and Gars. Gars getting 3 in the round, as you just, alluded to. But I mean, this is those rounds that you have to try and lock up against a team that is going to be very punishing and is going to be able to kind of adapt throughout this entire map here, as this is their strong game mode. But we will see another A hit trying to come through. We'll see if this time we'll be able to actually get the bomb down sooner, or if they are going to be able to win it on the... Zay's been the big standout player so far. Big gunfight for him. He comes out on top. Trades go back in 4th. 2v2 already. He's got 25 seconds in, but Blexy, he finds a kill, and he's looking to get himself out.
It's not what you want to see from JCS. I mean, you go for the exact same play as you did in round number 1 and falls apart at the seams because BC Esports, they're going to adjust. They're going to make the changes, and they're going to expect that now. Luckily, if you're Zay, you grab the bomb, you get out with being checked, and even getting good timing against Blexy. Might have an opportunity to put the bomb down on the B side of the map and play this 1v2 with some comfortable positioning. So he is going to do so. Go through streets, look to plant for that street side as well. And then play those off angles for BC Esports to retake it. This is very clever from Zay. And what is he? He's sitting here 3 and 2. He might be able to take it.
Oh, does he read Blexy? He doesn't. This is just a good play from Blexy. Backs all the way up, looks to cut off that rotation in towards the back, knowing he's in this 1v2. Like, he's going to have to try and make a wrap play and try to get maybe into an individual gunfight. Not the case. Defuse will come through right after, and good adjustments being made here on the defense to make sure BC Esports are going to stay on top here, pulling ahead 2-1.
That's exactly what I wanted to see as well from the side of BC Esports. Make those adjustments from that first round visions and wait for it to come in hand. Blexy playing very aggressive in this escalators, putting a nail through the attempt that JCS plotted up. And now you're pushing on to the advantage, finally connecting 2 rounds in a row. The team that we expect to take this search and destroy coming on fire here on the back of Blexy with a 3-3 streak. After Gars in the past round went on 3 streak as well. So take a look at this attack. They're going to go for the exact same thing. I'm curious to see if the bomb planner is going to go through escalators or not.
Gars first one up. Nade going to be blocked here from the trophy. He knows defensive members likely pushed up. Who makes this first move? It's usually been all aggression. Last time they tried to make this hit through the middle, and Zay reads it. He actually has the middle unlocked. He finds that first blood, creates an advantage, and then slips away with his life. And now everyone gets to try and push up and start zoning and all these blue members away. I mean, this is best case scenario right now. Rambo's got them all unlocked, but Samurai, he manages to find a kill. Rambo maybe trying to get one back, but instead, we'll just back away.
Zay working this flank all the way in the back spawn. He's still alive here, and he's still wreaking havoc. He's looking to make even more, finally cleaned up, evened out at the seam. Both players on the defense are going to back up, but play split with this cross angle setup. So one occupying the B side of the map, one occupying the A side of the map. The bomb is dropped escalators. You have to look at BC Esports to play hand in hand to recover it. 30 seconds left to do so.
Rambo waiting to shoot. Find Shadow, like the trigger discipline, maybe seeing if a second follows. All up to K's. Or rather, sorry, all up towards Samurai here. If we go on towards his POV, going to maybe try and drop this bomb down. And actually, the wrap back to A. I don't know if he's got time. He doesn't. He does not have time to do that play. He realizes it now. He's forced to try and find both players, and no way he's getting 2 in a second. So maybe a little bit of a misplay from Samurai. Either way, trying to get that bomb down by B, likely wasn't looking too good either.
That round goes to Zay. Day in, day out. I mean, he snuck in through the middle of the map. He had the brilliant trigger discipline to wait for that bomb planner gaze to walk down escalators and give him a free kill. He just waited and played his time. Found that first blood and wrapped all the way back around point 4 and threw bank into the back of the map to even find a second one and force a stall out of the attack of BC Esports. And that's the same thing that I said about JCS. They did the exact same thing twice in a row, and you saw the adjustments made to counter it the second time. We're evened up, and this is a different hit from JCS.
Big stun here. Blexy just trying to hold his ground. Has a bit of support now. You got Samurai trying to back him up just in case the hit does come through. Little nade check there in the corner. No info on that. And with the first kill already coming through on towards Zay, this push just becomes so much more difficult for Johnson C. Smith University. But we will see Rambo. He finds Blexy just a little bit too far pushed up. Shadow looking for a response, but instead it's going to be Gars finding a kill. Pressure on Shadow. He gets info on the last 2 players, and now you're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Do you try and push him out? Do you try to make a rotation? You only got 40 seconds left, and you got to decide pretty quick.
Well, with an XM4 sitting on the statue, it's hard to take him off this side. Look at the head glitch that he has provided. And in the time that we've stalled out, you look at the positioning of the other 2 players for BC Esports. You got one sitting mid, one sitting on the A side. They're going to go for the gunfight onto Shadow, but he is poised and ready to take it. Some nasty shots from Tempest. Wow. To take him off that head glitch. Now 16 seconds to make a 1v2 happen. He's going to rotate through the middle of the map where that player, Samurai, is going to be waiting. A big pick as well. Suddenly time to get that bomb down in a one-on-one.
One-on-one. He's playing for the kill. He's playing for the kill. If he actually checks this correctly, it's going to be right, but he backs up and tries the plant now. A little confused on that one. I mean, he had the right read. You had the right read. I actually love that scenario of going for the challenge instead of trying to drop the bomb, because you can assume the player is probably close by and is going to go for that check when you only have about 8 seconds left, but I just wish he committed for it.
You have to kind of think that at least trying for the kill would be a little bit better than going for the bomb plant, but he doesn't even want it. And I mean, that really comes off of the amount of time you stalled out in offices. It allowed for that positioning, it allowed for that uncertainty for that last player alive when you did come into that situation. Now, The changes coming out for the side of BC Esports. They're going for a B hit, occupying offices and streets. And if they can catch out Zay here, oh, Zay's still alive, gets out of it. Gar's kicking himself with that one, and Blexy goes down, advantage to JCS.
That's definitely one you'd love to have back there. Guards just can't lock down all the shots, and getting out. Guardian Angel there on his shoulder to make sure he survives. And with that, you also see that first pick going on towards Blexy. So you're kind of caught in the situation that you were just in last round, except it's completely flipped. You now have to make a move with very limited control by B, and your bomb carrier might just end up dropping down. Zay will find the actual challenge, but doesn't bring home the kill. So we do actually go 3v3. Things now a lot more doable, but you have the middle of the map being completely watched. Gars, I mean, if you're going to go back and rotate, you got to do it now. And it looks like that is going to be the decision here. But we'll see Rambo cutting down Shadow. Gars, you got to go, brother. You got to find some kills. He can't. Rambo finds a two-piece, and that should lock up the round unless Samurai can pull off a 1v3 here in about 18 seconds.
Suddenly, these rounds are getting a little bit scary for BC Esports. I mean, a team we heavily favor for that search and destroy, and JCS are showing up today on this Tuesday night. Visions. I mean, this is a team that if you go up 2-0, that might crush the spirits of BC Esports. I search a game mode that you definitely on paper look to be taking heading into that control. That swing map that we were talking about might suddenly turn into a map that is favoring JCS instead of BC Esports. And that comes off the confidence of taking a game mode that is not in your favor, which is the search and destroy. Now we're evened up 3-3, the halfway point of this search and destroy. And JCS keeping it as even as they can, showing a lot better in the kind of the motherlands of BC Esports, the search and destroy game mode, rather than BC Esports in their hard point, which looked a lot better for JCS in that turn. Now, I need to see something special from BC Esports on this defense. Shut it down here. Tempest pushes on through full confidence, but traded out.
Yeah, it looks like unfortunate they're trying to get back, and Gar's now able to find 3 as he just lights up everyone. Might even be able to go for the ace. K's the last one. Not sure if he sees him on the cross there. K's will encounter the battle. Finds himself Shadow. So still trying to stay alive in what would be a 1v3 if he can come out with the round. Just has to get through the last 2 players, but maybe 2 of the most difficult players on the roster here. Have to cut through Gars and Blexy. 45 seconds left. The bomb is down here by A, and he's got to decide how he's going to want to try to retake this site.
I mean, if you're K's, you want to isolate that one-on-one for Blexy, because right now Gars is feeling himself with a 3K in this round, looking for that ace. So if you isolate that 1v1 on Blexy and put Gars in an unfavorable position, you might be able to take this round away from an upset that ace potential. But the fact that Blexy stays alive there, that's going to allow for the rotate to come out for Gars, play for this pitch and try to flush out K's.
You could maybe get yourself a kill here on towards Gars, but no way he's getting towards the bomb here in time again. I think this is just a lack of understanding, you know, just on how long maybe it takes to get towards some of these sites. Even if this still goes through, Gars might actually be able to play for the ace. Won't get there in time, but yeah, I mean, you have to try, right? You have to try and get towards that bomb, and you have to get it down. And I think now we've seen 2 occasions of just not maybe understanding how much time they have to work with and how long it's going to take them to get towards the site.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, he gets those shots on the Blexy, takes that kill. That is definitely a different game, but those shaky shots all the way from statue to a jump wall on the middle of the map, that's kind of going to be the decider there. Blexy staying alive, getting out there, forces K's to almost have to play for that gunfight, because, you know, as soon as you put that bomb down, somebody is going to be there. And if you maybe win that gunfight, there is going to be a trade from Gars. It's going to be different, though. 2-for-2 split push all the way through escalators. This mid-map player, Tempest, is going to have a big duty, but Blexy shuts him down.
Yeah, you do not see that from sitting at cutout. That is something I've certainly learned from experience. And, well, they're going to make them pay for it. Second kill also falls through. 4v2 situation, looking a lot more dominating on the offenses as we go further and further in towards this. Rambo and Zay have to pull off a 2v4. Blexy very wisely will back down from this challenge, realizes he doesn't have to take the gunfight, and once again, I mean, taking a full wrap through the spawn here with 30 seconds left. It's not looking great, and now it's a 1v4.
Blexy playing for the ace now, Vision. So we go ace to ace. Can he do what Gars couldn't? Bad timing for himself. Just going to miss passing in the distance. Number 4 today. Last one live. Cleaned up finally. BC Esports on game mode point for the search and destroy. Looking to tie up the series 1 apiece. And Ever since I kind of called them out in that kind of halftime of the Search and Destroy Visions, definitely looking a lot more decisive. I mean, what do they see the keys of victory for the Ultra are? I mean, decisivity. That's what Method says. You heard him say it. And honestly, seeing BC Esports kind of pull that one ahead and look a lot more thorough with their attacks, playing more as a team. They're looking a lot more comfortable for this Search and Destroy, and it's what I expected from them. But off the back of two big plays from Garz and Flexi, let's see if they can keep this momentum up and even take this last round. On a JCS, they're going to have to fight from the back end now, pull the reversal on BC Esports, and they're going to go for a full mid hit.
Tempest would have maybe got this trade if Flexi did not end up going down, but good long-range shots. Tempest lining him up, knocking him down. Rambo waits for the flank, and this is a much better round offensively. You got Samurai. He's got in a 1v4 situation. Can't even bring home the first, and, well, that's a flawless round that comes through as JSCU. They are not done just yet, Seymour. They're trying to keep on fighting here for us in map number 2.
And that was incredible. I mean, like you say, even if that first blood came out in favor of BC Esports, that trade was there for Tempest. And Shadow had no idea. Like, where was the communication in that? Shadow was sitting on statue, didn't even turn to the middle of the map to look. And an easy cleanup, 2 kills, 2 wards, the side of BC or JCS. And that just kind of puts us now in an awkward situation where you could be forcing a round 11 off this defensive play now. BC Esports, they have to show this aggressive style, this team coordination to commit and take this round. You don't want to be playing in that round 11. They're going to go for a full hit on this A site.
Rambo waiting, tried to take up one, shots into the second, but Shadow's better. First blood is good. BC Esports with the advantage. This is where they've been ruthless on their offensive rounds. And Shadow, chance to press on forward here, finds Tempest, but Tempest wins the battle up close. And now we got a 3v3 as this bomb goes down. Tempest finds the second, staying alive, can't find the third. And now it's going to be all up to Zay and Kays, but Samurai with 2 won't be able to find the third. Garz gives his position away. A 1v1 with 30 seconds left. How does Zay play this? Does he read him in towards the back right now? He's trying to check all of the corners, but maybe just decides to hop this bomb. Will we get a check? Garz playing his life right now.
He's picking it.
I think he might get it, Seymour. He's trying to get to it in time, but he does. BC Esports just narrowly coming out in this map number 2 to tie the series up 1-1.
Oh, I thought he had that. That had to be milliseconds on that defuse. A big ballsy play from Zay there and their Visions to go for that ninja defuse, waited out, and honestly, Garz almost having the perfect position, the best time to catch him out in screens, but that's Zay almost pulling out away with a crucial round to send us to round 11 there. BC Esports take their search and destroy map that we predicted, but it was shaky. It wasn't convincing to me. And that just shows that if this goes the distance to a map number 5, JCS, they might be able to pull that Miami search and destroy now. We're heading into this control Visions. This is going to be that swing game now. This is that 1-1 tie here. This control is going to be everything for this series.
Ladies and gentlemen, Seymour just framed it up beautifully. It's everything. It's the swing map. Both teams look so strong in control, but we got to throw things to a little bit of a break before we get into it. So don't go too far. We come back. We're going to see what team's better at control. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to College COD here on the Bravo stream. It's myself, Visions, joined with Seymour. We got a banger series here at the moment. If you're just tuning in, map number 1, that went over towards the side of JCSU Esports, 250 to 171 on the Moscow hardpoint. But we just had a big bounce back come through here for BC Esports, Seymour. They closed out their best map mode combination, now 6-0 on Moscow as they won that one 6-4. But now we get ready to jump in towards the swing map here where they both are strong on control.
You know, a big bounce back map indeed for that second one if you're BC Esports, but still not convincing me, Visions. I still got to see a little bit more from BC Esports. Now, they are supposed to be the higher tier team here in this scene, but JCSU Esports are showing up and they are looking good tonight, taking 4 rounds in that search and destroy of BC Esports, who were 5-1 in that Moscow search and destroy. So definitely going into this raid, I wouldn't feel as comfortable in BC Esports as I would have if that search and destroy was a little bit more convincing. But either way, I mean, both of these teams showing on paper that they are definitely strong in control. And that's where the swing map comes into this. is that both of these teams are gonna be butting heads on raid control, a map that is very back and forth, very offense and defense sided. So it's not really gonna be controlled from one side or the other. I am expecting chaos and carnage from both the attackers and defenders when it does come to raid control. And whoever takes this going into that hard point, they're definitely going to be very confident for the next respawn.
Very confident indeed. And 4-0 is what we got. Johnson C. Smith University, 6-1 for Barton College. It's a banger. We're coming in for it. Hope you guys are ready because we are absolutely ready to get in towards this. And coming through based off, I think, this entire series so far here, Seymour, there hasn't been any players who have necessarily taken over. I think some of the high performers, like we talked about, right? Like we had Rambo listed as one of the players we expect to try and hold his own and do what he's used to doing, which is slaying out, going big in the search and destroys. And that's exactly what we've been getting thus far. But it hasn't been a takeover by any means. It's been very close, very competitive up and toward this point. And this is just still so important for this Atlantic B division for as far as what we're going to get for final standings. I mean, 7th here for BC, or rather, sorry, 7th here for JCSU Esports, 5th for BC Esports. So very, very it's time. Map number 3 is in raid control to see who is going 2-1 up in the series.
Usually you see teams go for a B hit right off the bat, but A is going to be where it's occupied for BC Esports. And coming up in the kill feed, it's going to be all white as a big wipe coming out. Now all 4 down for BC Esports back on the respawn, and Rambo occupying the spawns now, going to find some spawn kills, but ultimately gets cleaned up. Now that's going to be important now for BC Esports because attack definitely can go the way of the offensive teams here. And the fact that JC Esports finds some really good time on this defense is going to provide them with some heavy lives favoring into this.
Well, this is the best they've looked so far on the attack. They got some members on the zone looking to stack it. First tick of progress secured. Rambo knows he can't really fight through the 1v4, wants to start chipping away at the reinforcements, does find himself a kill. Can he get Shadow here as well? Shadow actually doesn't look at him, but he's got great help over him. Gars finds that kill. Now a 1v1 for the hill. Can Gars continue to go big here for himself, trying to find Tempest, landing the shots he does, and that will be the second tick secured as well.
Oh, and mid occupied too. So this is going to be possibly the A site captured. So it is. Minute 56 left on the time bank. 20 lives to 19. So dead even for both of these squads. Now, if you take a look at BC Esports, they're setting up for a flood around the back of the map. They're going to walk right into K's, and he's going to shut it down at the seam. Rambo, if he cleans this one up, that's going to be a full wipe. Pretty much for favoring JCS now. And Samurai playing his life is going to be big.
Gars does get cleaned up here. Zay, good help coming right in towards kitchen to reinforce this power position. The teammates now allowed to start to push out through this left lane. Rambo just needs to stay alive as long as possible here because this keeps the offense at Holtz here in the pool house, and he's got good help over him, but he does lose some teammates. Has to go for the chow up close, finds that first kill. One more up top. Rambo manages to slip away with his life. Might be able to rewrap through the middle of the map here, but instead it's Tempest. Adds in the defense. This is a great hold so far as they shut down the first minute.
And now you're down to a minute. It's a whole minute off the board from that A cap, and you are down 5 lives as well. You're trying to bring it back, Gars, but there's no map position to come off of those kills that you're getting. And if you're JCSU, you are going to be taking all these trades because after all, you are on defense. And at the end of it, you have to, you're going to have to go for the objective at some point if you're BC Esports. But all the kills right now favoring the defending team. Rambo doing a good job of being pest in the back line. BC Esports, they just don't look the same as they do in the Search and Destroy.
This is just so good, so clean. I mean, you got 10 and 3 for Rambo right now. He is just on a tear. Might be able to work towards streaks here as well if you can grab maybe a couple extra kills. You only got 4 lives left for BC Esports. How do you decide to use them? One last push maybe, or maybe play for some kills. Flexi in the back, tries to get in, finds the kill. Trade is good. Samurai can't grab the second. Double up there for K's. Gar's the last one left alive, and well, he does find 2, but he might be able to get a touch here for a second, but has to fight through the rest. Not going to matter. JCSU Esports, they're going to be able to hold defensively here for the first round.
Now, although BC Esports lose that round, that last kill that Gars got onto Rambo shut down the streak that he was on. He was on 6 kills in a row, so he was 1 away from getting that artillery strike visions. And if you get that artillery strike off that first round, that second defense that you're going to have is going to be even easier because you can give up the site fully for a push, drop that artillery strike, and full wipe them back into your sites in the spawn. So I'm glad that Gars played for that kill, took him down, and Rambo 11-4, a player that we highlighted, definitely showing up in this control, coming out strong on the defense. Let's see if BC Esports can answer back.
This is Rambo's best game mode by far, 2.42 KD. Blexy trying to shut down this push over towards B. Sometimes we see this unorthodox hit towards the unfavored zone to see if you can maybe work a tick or two in first and then make that rotation towards A. But Rambo, he might have found an opening through the middle of the map here. Does deal with one of the players. Spawn's coming in the top left-hand corner of your screen there, right down in towards the basketball court. So this puts an interesting moment in towards Rambo's hands because he's the only one forced to go big. The rest of his teammates are still way back in the spawn, and they're going to be able to clean him up. I mean, everyone just comes in, reinforces kitchen, and that does allow for some of the players to start moving up here, but you have to stall this clock. I mean, you have no progress made, and you got 40 seconds left to work with.
I mean, mid control is really good on a map like Raid, but if you lose one player on that mid push when you're attacking, that is going to stall your attack, and it's ultimately going to just give the advantage to the defenders when that retake comes back as soon as you touch point on it. Tempest doing a good job at kind of creating some havoc, but still these trades, like I said when JCS was on the defense, the trades are going to favor that defending team all the time because even though it's even, like you said, there's no progression. And basketball court is going to be the way that Garz is sitting here. It's a player that I was hoping that BC Esports would have to show up, and he's finally here to play. 20 seconds left.
Garz find another one here. Tempest can't make it in towards the pool. They make some progress on B, but does it even matter? 10 seconds left. Maybe a touch towards A right now as we see the stack by B, and they are still alive. We might just see a hit come through. I mean, why wouldn't you try to give this one good attempt here on the defense? Zay does find Blexy. It's a stack inside the point, working towards that second tick of progress, but Ascaro's in from behind. He cleans up too. Tempest now. Can you go big? Everyone swarming in and around him has to try and find the second kill. The contention is in. Shadows behind the rock. The challenge is there. Tempest still alive right now, playing his life. Can he find a third? Yes, he can. You put him in the power position, he will deliver, and they are still in this, but he's still forced to go big by himself.
And shake and bake, Tempest. Jeez, he is popping off. Now you're down to 5.8 seconds, and you get some time in your bank because you provide enough for your team to hop over to that B side, capture it, and only one ticket progression is needed. 11 lives to 13, almost even. You're feeling good now. If you're JCS, this could be a potential attacker win.
This could be it. Just one good hit. That's all you need. 4 down. Stack the zone. Rambo, he can't sniff out the first one, and Samurai stops the second. So the push from the back, unsuccessful. But Tempest, he's been the player to watch out for, and they might actually try to go for maybe one more push towards the back. Case finds the player inside of the spawn. A crucial kill to make sure you're not dropping lives here, but we are getting low. JCSU Esports, they only have 6 left, and they got to make an attempt towards this last tick.
Zay has to clean up Shadow here. He has to let Rambo get out of this window. Rambo gonna find it himself, so finally touching down on this point. One ticket progression is needed. You might be down 2 lives, but if it comes down to the objective, you don't need to worry about that. Blexy's gonna put it down. No respawns for either side. JCS gets the cap, and the attackers come on through. Visions. BC Esports absolutely threw away that defending round, and it's all because of Tempest.
It's all because of Tempest, man. This play right here, like, everybody is in and around him. He has 0 support because all of his teammates are across the map dedicating their push towards B so that they can take advantage of what Tempest is doing. And the fact they do not trade him out after finding 3 or 4 in a row is absurd. Incredible play here. Tempest going big, 12 objective score towards his name, 16 and 15. Might not be the sexiest KD we've ever seen, but man, is he ever doing some of this dirty work right now. And now, Seymour, you are 1 round away from closing this out 3-0.
He's got 12 objective kills, and I'm sure half of those were from that little dance that he has. We're going to hop on board with him, watch this flank in the back line. As the attackers, they are going to put some presence onto the A site, but sooner or later, Tempest is going to put some damage into it. So I got 2 players going, so it is going to be a considerable amount of progress to this A side of the map, and Samurai even cleaning up Tempest is going to maybe even provide a full cap on this A side with lives favoring you. Big opening from BC Esports. Let's see if they can commit off this.
They do find 1 rotational kill as well, so there's a chance to try and push to the middle of the map, but they will end up finding Zay in the back as well. Forced to go through the laundry side to see if they can maybe create a pinch with their teammates. It's a push from the front, but that push looks to be shut down, but they do manage to find a couple of kills. Blexy just needed to find 2, and he does. So there's still a chance to be able to open up some room here. You have 3 members stacked close towards the point, working for that first tick of progress.
That's everything. Gar's picking up that basketball player. 2 players go down. Now you have to worry about the player and money. Shadow, some beams. That's 2 players occupying this B side. A lot of progression. Gonna get 2 ticks before the flood through. Garden comes out. And Shadow with that overview. The cleanup comes through and the crew is here. BC Esports, they don't get the cap just yet, but a considerable amount of time on the B side visions.
You have plenty of time to work with. You have 1 tick with 1:45 to work with here. You need to take this slow and do it together. Flexi already doing exactly that. Absolutely smokes Case. Doesn't take any damage in return. Now you have Kitchen on the lock. Rambo trying to clear this out. He is denied. Blexy for 2. A chance now to make your way over towards the zone. This should be a stack. This should be your offensive round. And BC Esports saying no 3-0 today. I don't think so. We're going to at least round number 4.
That's huge at being the attacking round as well. You go back to defense. You have that opportunity once again, Visions. I mean, you saw in that round 2. That should have been BC Esports round. They do the exact same thing. They clean up Tempest this time. They take it to a round number 5 for this control. Now, you look at the scoreboard in the past history of these teams. I mean, JCSU Esports is 4-0. For raid control, but BC Esports, they have experience here too. They're 6-1 on this map, and they don't want that second loss. They're looking to make it 7-1 here, and they're not giving up either. You're looking at BC Esports to come out swinging on defense now.
All right, JCSU Esports, big regain. Seeing what they can do by the A site. Good first pick. Tempest, of course, the one to open it up. Third challenge there, and Tempest will find the double up. First tick certainly looks to be secured. You have presence in towards the middle of the map. Rambo says, I got this unlocked. Worry about the front. Gars does not want to try and challenge that. Blexy says, all right, I'll give it a go. And well, he is shut down as well. The stack is here. They're going to chalk this zone up. And well, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to start working towards B.
And I'm glad that BC Esports didn't expend too many lives either on that A site. I mean, it was locked down from JCSU, and now you just have to worry about one site. You can put all your eggs into this basket and lock down the defense. K's started to mount a flank through jungle, cleaned up by Blexy. So it's going to stall out this attack a little bit longer. Big kills now, and, you know, a 2-for-2 trade, but this is going to be tough. As soon as Blexy finds that, there's nothing really going for you over at this B site.
Zay with a big trade. Can he find the second? He can't. Gars holds on towards the kitchen for now. But Kays, he's starting to work himself closer and closer on towards the zone here. You got Garza in the window. You got to win this battle here if you're Kays, and he does. He delivers. Can he deliver for 2? He cannot. Samurai will be able to find the kill. Rambo with a crucial kill on the stairs. And Tempest now, the player you really want in this situation is start creating some waves in and around the pool. Might be able to do that. No, he can't. Samurai reads him like a book. Maybe finds the second. He cannot. Minute 20 now. Lots of time has been shaved off this clock, and you've had 0 progress over towards B.
But you have a 5 life advantage on this as well. Zay looking to break out basketball courts, provide some space on the B side, but not going to give any through. So the flood now back from BC Esports, looking to clean up these players. Such a good, efficient job right now on this B side of the map, but ultimately JCSU still with the advantage on lives, so might have to play for time if you are BC Esports. An unfortunate team kill is going to stall out this attack once again. Luckily, you still got some trades coming in your favor if you're JCS, but you have to rely on Zay now to make a big play in the back line.
Shadow, not ready for that gunfight. That's now the start of making this push work. 2 members remaining here defensively. 1 caught in Tiki. Kays delivers, finds the kill. Guards the last one up right now. His teammates coming off the respawn. And Zay now a chance to turn and burn. He cannot. They do get themselves on the zone, and you only have 4 lives left. BC Esports has to deliver here to keep this map going. Can they do it? Kays trying to pick up Kitchen. Doesn't want to go for the challenge. You need to challenge the hill here very soon, though, and they do actually find 2 out of 4, excuse me. Now just 2 members remaining, and Gars finds the 3rd. They're actually doing this right now, Seymour, but Zay's play. You touched on it. He makes it work. Finds the kill. Now Samurai and Flexi. What can they do? It's all up to Samurai. Has to try and cut through every single member. He cannot, and we will have Johnson C. Smith. They're going to take the lead in the series 2-1.
Early in the game, it was Rambo being a pest in the back line. Last round right there, that was all Zay. I mean, he was so considerably just providing so much flank presence for JCSU Esports. And I mean, halfway through that game, you definitely got to give it to 3 key players from JCSU. It was Rambo at the start, Tempest in the middle, and then it was closed out well by Zay. The last player, he was just coasting. He was allowing that support, and he was providing enough cover for his teammates to pop off and do what they do best. Now, BC Esports dropping this control, that's going to be scary.
Very scary. I mean, every single respawn has got over towards the squad so far. JCSU, I mean, they're not fooling around. They are a strong response squad. And if you can't punish them in these hard points and take away, some of the game modes that they're maybe a little bit kind of iffy on more or less against a lot of the other squads we've seen, then you're just simply not going to be able to take these guys down when they're playing at this level right now. You can just see it in a lot of these moments where it comes down to crunch time. They're creating advantages throughout multiple individual plays as well as excellent team pushes. I mean, we just saw incredible stuff really coming through from Tempest. It feels like he was able to play his life right on that zone and just created so much room for his teammates to be able to make a maneuver on the other zone. And that was what allowed them to come back in towards that offensive round, pulled ahead 2-0. And once they get back over towards their next offense, they close things out as well. Just very dominating, very good. And now you're in a spot here for the side of BC Esports where it's like, hey, S&D wins championships. We know that, Seymour. That's been a term from a long, long time ago back in Call of Duty history when this esport was being formed. But you have to at least be able to grab one of the respawns, right? That's the key to really being a successful S&D squad, if you want to put it that way. And now you have to deliver going in towards what will be a raid hardpoint here coming up next.
Well, there's a reason people have said that for like 10 years now, ladies and gentlemen. That's because S&D is so key. I mean, it's your second map and it's your last map if you make it all that far. Now, favorably now for BC Esports, I just checked up and the vetoes aren't that bad for them. Raid Hardpoint, they're sitting 3-4, whereas JCSU is 0-2 visions. Now, that
All
is
right.
interesting going into this Hardpoint. And seeing Moscow Hardpoint 250, 171. I mean, BC Esports, they weren't that bad. I mean, it was really kind of the rotations that were catching them off guard.
Yes.
JCSU was just bullying their way into the back line, uprooting those spawns and kind of holding on to those long distant angles. And you really saw Samurai, the AR for BC Esports, fall behind in that hardpoint. He was 9-22 at the end of it. He didn't have a good showing. Now, raid hardpoint looking a little bit more favorable for your team. You're looking for that comfortability, that familiarity for the map to kind of favor BC Esports in this one. As they bounce back in game number 2, now they have to bounce back in game number 4 to force that Miami Search and Destroy, which, if I could touch down for a second, an also interesting map for this series, because that is where we see JCSU, the only team out of the two to play it, and they are 1-0 there. So definitely playing for the long game, playing for the vetoes. This raid hardpoint is so important. I need to see BC Esports show up and take it very convincingly.
They got to show up, man. They have to, or they're going to find themselves with another loss on the board. 6-3 is what they currently hold, and I'm sure they're fighting to get themselves in towards the top 25, like every other team currently within the College COD League. But right now, they're not making an excellent argument at it because they have now showed a couple of weaknesses in their response that's been taken advantage of. Yeah, 5-0 as well now in control rate for Johnson C. Smith University. So for any teams that's playing up against them, you veto that hard going towards any of those other series. But for this one, you framed it up. They got to go big. They got to step up. They have to deliver, and they have to do it now. And if they can get it towards map number 5, that's where they will be most comfortable. But it's getting there. That is going to be the problem. Are we going to see a change up? Has there been work done here for the side of Johnson C. Smith on their raid hardpoint? We're about to find out here, Seymour. It's all on the line.
Don't forget, guys, that Barton College is coming into the 6-3. I mean, JCSU 4-4 are looking to go positive in the CCL tonight. If they take it in map 4, that's exactly what we're going to see. Point 1, I'm expecting to be a bloodbath here, Visions. It is supposed to be controlled by neither team, as either team should be dancing around. But you got Tempest here, as he's got his dancing shoes on, and he's looking to lock it down.
Rambo has already pushed us back of Laundry. Good shots there for Blexy. First 10 seconds, good. Tempest trying to see if he might be able to convert for a second. He's got everyone closing in around him. He's been in this situation before. Will he be able to come out on top again? No way, right? He has the finesse, but Shadow's pistol does find him up close, and we'll see BC get themselves inside of the point where there's about 20 seconds to play for.
You lose P2 spawns. That is big for JCSU. Now you're going to have that kitchen rotation. Tempest is the first one there in the front line. Blexy not going to find anything. A big stop for JCSU. That split spawn a little bit scary, but you're guaranteed now for point 2, as you do see that Barton College is spawning over towards Garage. The second hardpoint kitchen, you can gain a lot of time off this. I'm looking for the SMG of Tempest to kind of break out and kind of flood through and hold down this front line.
Tempest in the point. Nothing any enemy team wants to hear right now, I'll tell you that. But it's going to be support in the back, making sure that they don't lose the spawns. One-on-one engagement, no help is going to be needed, but actually Tempest stops shooting, so he does lose the battle. Rambo right there for the trade. Good help coming through. First 20 seconds has been locked down. Rambo waits for Tempest to come right back up, and they're going to be able to just keep bait and switching around this pillar, but Flexi, he finds two, and well, we'll see Zay respond with two of his own.
Oh, Zay
spawns in the back, and yeah, he keeps things going as they're already thinking about this rotation now over towards Garage.
Now we've been talking about Tempest, but what about Rambo here? Literally the man, the myth, the legend. We're going all the way through Garage and locking down spawns towards the top of the mini-map. Now forcing themselves through the outer AC. K's looking for the one-on-one with Samurai, spots him out, puts some shots in, not find a kill right away, but eventually cleans it up. So some big kills for BC Esports, but traded on either side. And with some last-minute attempts, you see BC Esports getting the first initial time on Garage, and considerably having to make a big trek through the middle of the map. You're gonna have to see JCSU make a big adventure to just touch the Garage.
Not easy to break this, and well, when you start to get all of these SMGs roaming in and around of Art and Zig, it makes it that much more difficult. But Rambo finds some space, gets himself two. Big gunfight here for Shadow, but the reload will cost him his life. And we'll see Samurai follow through right after. Now for the hill. Can Samurai end up going big? He doesn't see the player laying down right in front of him. He will find the kill in the end, but it's still contested going towards the game clock. 20 seconds to try and play for as we start looking towards this rotation. A big 15 to get. K's waiting for the challenge. He's going to eat the nade, and the nade will finish him off. So BC Esports, they're good for the last 15 seconds.
Look at the other side of the map. Garz does find Tempest, but he's still got Zay. You know what he can do. He's scavenged an MP5. He's going to have the initial touchdown on this point. Rambo makes his way through jungle, cleans it up. So the points are going to flip, and the spawns are going to favor JCSU. Now, you know basketball courts, you can soak up a ton of time. Garz might get the perfect timing in behind. Rambo breaks it open, and 2-kill for BC Esports. They might be able to break this.
Oh, this is just the perfect break, unless K's can go big inside of the point. But, I mean, how big can you really go here? He almost actually finds himself a double up. And in from behind, he gets the support. So still managing to hold on for now as the spawns do flip out here for us, but crucial time being collected. Now a pinch from Shadow. Shot's not going to land, but his teammates find the break inside of the point. That is what's crucial. So they battle out here for the last 25. We start looking towards the rotation. Rambo, he's already on it, and he's going to find that first kill.
Look at this rotation, though. JCSU, they got the initial time there, but they've given it up now. Tempest making his way into the back line, looking to kind of put some pressure into the back of BC Esports, making this mistakes definitely made on that. And all three players now for the JCSU grouping together in the middle courtyard, and a pinch coming from either side from BC Esports to break.
Oh, it's going to be Tempest. Finds that first one. They lose the player that was defending dividers now, so it's chaos. You don't know exactly where they're coming from, but Tempest apparently still has a read on it. Good team shots here with Rambo. They're going to lock down the first 20. Can they now fend off the second push as it starts to unfold right from dividers? Everyone looking to hit Zig, but it's not looking great all around the board so far. They're shutting it down. K's going to get a little peek here. He should find this player to his right, and he does. Rambo finds two and actually finishes off the kill, and that's also a 5 spree now. So you have Rambo, who might be able to even play for some streaks.
Case has found this rotation. Big gunfight right here. Plexi gonna pick that one up, and trades favoring BC Esports to hold on to this initial time. But even still, you look at the rest of your team for BC Esports spawning towards pools and basketball courts. You have to kind of make a considerable amount of rotations just to help your teammate up. Case cleans up that last player on the A site, on the first site, and rotations favoring JCSU. They're looking to take their lead even farther.
You lose the air player in the back, but you need a break here. You need it desperately for the side of Barton College. And Tempest, he's not going to allow that to happen easily. Player 7, Samurai, he's waiting for his opportunity to pounce. Flexi from the middle, looking to try and distract some of the players inside of the point. No one finding kills. Zay gets enough time to come in from behind. Rambo finds one inside of the point, and now you likely have to chalk this up and start looking towards this rotation because you can't afford to lose spawns. But these are these moments where we start talking about Seymour. You need the full 60s to start coming through.
You need something, and you need it fast. Rambo has an artillery strike, so if you go to P4 once again over the basketball courts and BC Esports gets the initial time, that artillery strike is going to be huge for those wide open situations. Zay doing what Zay does best. He's in the back line. He's slaying. He pulls spawns away from BC Esports, And now that can, if that favorable position you had earlier, now in favor of JCSU, and that full 60 that you were hoping for, it is not in your books.
Spawns have been a problem. Gars, you need to go big here, brother, and you don't have a whole lot of support to do it. From the side is Cage. He tags up one, tries to read the back, but there is the help. They finally get themselves inside of a point very early on where they can look to grab the majority of it. Blexi's got the read on the flank. He makes sure no one's getting in from behind, at least not yet. And, well, the first 20 seconds are now going to be good here for BC Esports. Big gunfight out front. Samurai looking for maybe even a double up, but Rambo almost finds his way in. It will be Gars good for the trade.
Well, Gar's on a 4 spray too. He's playing for streaks as well. I mean, get 3 more kills. You got an artillery strike in your pocket. On the rotation, Tempest, some good timing on the Blexi. This is JCSU. You know, you get a considerable amount of contention on that second hardpoint kitchen. You stall away BC Esports from making that comeback, and in fact, you're going to hold up about a 50-point lead rotating over to this garage. And we saw a considerable amount of time go to the team holding it last time around in the history. An assassination on the screen. How many times do you get to see this? Kick in the nuts, and Zay goes down. But JC Esports still holding on to time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the best time to necessarily do it, but trying to maybe get towards your opponent's head, you got to try everything you possibly can when you're down almost 100 points, and this very well could be the last hill here for us, as we'll see Rambo invest the streaks. He gets info on every single member. Tempest up close. He finds the kill. No way. Tempest grabs the second, right? Samurai, you got to try and get this trade for your teammate. And Tempest running at them, gunning them down. Shadow trying to find his way in. He will only be able to get himself the trade, but you do manage to stop them from getting the rest of the time. So we will at least see one more hill.
17 and 21 for Zay, but he has had so many big kills on the rotations. He has stalled out these BC Esports players every single time around. And Tempest as well, you know he's having a good run around 22 and 18 now. Rotating over to basketball courts, 20 seconds to win this. And JCSU has everything in their favor. I say, but they get insta-broken. Number 8, Gars. Who else to do it but him? Let's see if he can make a hero play.
Oh, he needs to make a hero play desperately. Trying to get the challenge. Does go down. Zay, what can you do? He goes to the pistol, but he gets great help from Rambo, and Rambo actually cleans up 3. That could be the game. 4 go down. One last push. What do you have, BC Esports? You got to get into the hill, and it's got to be now. But Zay, he's zoning away all the members. They're trying to duck. They're trying to dive. They're trying to slide. What can they do? Rambo finds a 3rd. And that is gonna do it for map number 4. The respawns are all good, and we will see Johnson C. Smith University pull off the upset.
Wow. I mean, BC Esports might have on paper looked better, but on screen, JCSU looked like a different beast, and it is all because of Rambo leading that way in that captain's chair. You give praise to every single player on JCSU, because at one point in the series, somebody was popping off, and it wasn't just a solo carry performance from Johnson C. Smith University. Everybody showed up tonight to take it. This upset definitely worth their while, as they have earned it, and they have earned it very, very convincingly.
It's looking good, Seymour. It's looking good. I mean, as the squad, keeps getting in towards the season longer and longer, it seems like they're getting better and better. They had a 1-3 start at the kickoff of the season, and now they put themselves in a positive spot where they are 5-4. They pull off an upset here and might be able to start contending for that top 6 going in towards, this very first split here for us. So massive game to be able to come out on top and to keep your hopes alive here for yourselves. And the fact that BC Esports, have the KDs that they do, they've been able to pull off some great wins themselves. It's usually come off the back end of getting it towards the game 5, winning the search and destroys, and at least taking one respawn. Well, that simply did not happen today here for them. So that's going to do it for our first series. But Seymour, we got another banger series coming up after this. I mean, Liberty Red, Concord Gray, they're going head to head. Both are 7-1 at the moment. And well, someone is going to have that second loss. So it's going to be exciting to see which one it will be. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw things to a break. Get set up for the second series. Don't go too far. We come back. We got a banger matchup on the way.